going to do lesson 3, and we're just going to continue where we left off with lesson 2 when we were doing the E minor, the A sus2. Well, today we're going to start with the A sus2 is our first chord, okay? And I'm going to show you some cool things that we can do in there with those chords. That's kind of the stuff I was doing when I was going up and down the neck. So thanks for dropping by, though. I sure appreciate your support and checking out my lessons. And so this first chord, the A sus2. So we're going to start off with your second finger. It's going to be on the 4th string, 2nd fret, okay? And I'm going to get a little bit closer here so you can see it, okay? And then you're going to put your 3rd finger right underneath it. So remember the last song you had the E minor, you know, which is a cool chord. It's like in a lot of songs, that E minor. The A sus2, not quite so much, but it is a chord that I use a lot. I mean, it just sounds really modern, and it has a lot of cool qualities that we can discuss in later lessons, okay? We don't want to get into too much theory right now, but we're going to take that A sus2. Okay, now the new chord shape we have is going to be a D6. So what you're going to do is you're going to hop that 2nd finger down 1 string, but this time instead of keeping them together, we're going to move the 3rd finger down a string. So it's going to be on the 1st string, 2nd fret, okay? So this is your D, if you can see that. Okay, this is a really cool chord. I've used this in a lot of songs before. Okay, so here's the chord progression again. We're going to go a measure. Okay, and then we're going to do that D6. Okay. Okay, and then you're going to close those fingers back up. Okay, strings 4 and strings 3. This is the D6. So I've got my 1st finger here, and then I'm going to skip a string and put my 2nd finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. So everything is done on the 2nd fret. And again, like the last lesson, just start with down strums. So you can do the up and down strumming. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now what is this right here that I'm doing? Let's talk about that a little bit. Okay, so we have a measure per chord. So when I say a measure per chord, that means 4 beats per measure, or per bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want you to do this with me. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to do 8th notes. 8th notes, we're just cutting everything in half. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So you want to get used to doing that. You can mix them up. Just get comfortable with that, however you want to do it. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Now let me show you some of the other things I was doing when I first started this video. This is the fun thing about these shapes, okay? A couple things. On this A sus, when you go to your D6, you can take your finger off. Okay, another thing that's fun with this shape, you can slide this up to your 6th fret. So here's your 2nd fret, 3, 4, 5, 6. Listen how pretty this is. It's a walk in the park. Just a walk in the park. Hey, this song is a walk in the park. Practice it. Okay, and then there was one other chord that I did. Okay, so this is fun though. Just just sitting around, just if you're relaxing at the end of a long day. Okay, now there was one last chord that I did, and that was this one. Okay. Again, this is the same 2 fingers I've been using, but I was, I moved up. This is on strings 2 and 3. Okay. Let me show you what I did here. So, if I get any closer. Okay, so this is, I'll have to maybe make a chord chart. Okay, so this right here is a 7th fret, and then I'm hopping up a strings and 2 strings and going to that other chord that I showed you. That's all, folks. Anyways, have fun with that. Mainly practice the the first 2 chords that I showed you, the A sus and the D6. That's the bulk of the lesson. And again, use all those techniques that I showed you in lesson 2. But this is a lot of fun. You want to put this into your bag of tricks, so to speak. I really like to use, when I play, I like to use a lot of these open chord voicings. It really sounds good if you're playing with another guitar player and, maybe they're over here, playing some cowboy chord. I call these big bar chords cowboy chords. Maybe they're doing something like that, and you can play the open voicings. It sounds good, and there's lots of them on the guitar, But again, appreciate your dropping by, and appreciate your support, and thanks again, and we will see you next time around.